My friend and I tortured a pedo in the most creative way imaginable. During my sophomore year of college, all the girls in my dorm started getting these increasingly disturbing love notes slipped under our doors. They started innocent enough, just, "You looked beautiful in your yellow sweater today," or, "I love watching you study in the common room," but they escalated fast. Soon we were getting detailed descriptions of our daily routines, what we ate for breakfast, even what time we showered, with sign-offs like, "Always watching," or, "Thinking about how your skin would taste." The notes were always signed, "Your secret admirer." My roommate Alana was the one to figure it out. She worked work-study in the housing office and had access to the master key logs. She discovered that our building's maintenance guy Charles had been using his master key to enter our floor during off hours way more than necessary for any legitimate repairs. When she checked the security footage, we discovered that this went way beyond creepy notes. Charles had been letting himself into our rooms, going through our things, and watching us while we slept. We even watched him put his hands on an unconscious girl. The worst part? Charles wasn't just a random maintenance guy, he was the dean's nephew. We knew if we went to the administration, they'd find a way to mysteriously misplace the footage. We needed a way to get him to confess. So Alana and I came up with a plan. We would create a fake romantic meetup that would lure him somewhere we could trap him and gather evidence. Alana wrote a note in completely different handwriting, supposedly from a girl named Carly who lived on our floor. The note said she'd been receiving his letters and was finally ready to meet him. She suggested they meet in the basement laundry room at midnight because it was private and romantic. We slipped it under his apartment door in the staff housing building. The night of our trap, we prepared the laundry room like a horror movie set. Alana had borrowed 3 female mannequins from the theater department and positioned them in washing machines with their heads tilted at unnatural angles. We set up speakers throughout the room connected to our phones so we could play audio from different locations. We also gathered photos that Charles had taken of girls on our floor, which we'd found when Alana's master key helped us search his maintenance closet earlier that day. When Alana arrived at midnight with flowers and a bottle of wine, he walked right into our trap. We'd rigged the door to lock behind him automatically. The second he stepped inside, Alana started playing a recording of multiple women's voices saying things like, "Why did you watch me sleep?" and "I trusted you," from speakers hidden around the room. Charles started panicking immediately, spinning around trying to figure out where the voices were coming from. That's when I hit the lights and the mannequins became visible. But the real psychological torture came when I, using a voice modulator, started speaking as Carly. "Hello, Charles," the distorted voice said through the speakers. "I'm not who you think I am. I'm the girl you touched. You came into my room. You thought I didn't see you." Charles was stumbling around the room, bumping into washing machines, begging for whoever was there to let him out. Claire continued the performance, making the voices seem to come from different mannequins, talking about all the specific things he'd done to different girls. "Tell us what you did, Charles. Tell all of us what you did." Charles completely lost it and started screaming about how he was sorry and he'd never do it again. He confessed everything and we recorded every word. We kept him there for 2 hours, just long enough for Alana to call campus security and tell them we discovered evidence of stalking in the laundry room, along with a very repentant sexual predator. When security arrived and unlocked the door, they found Charles curled up on the floor, surrounded by all the photos he'd taken of us and the creepy notes he'd written, which we'd scattered around the room as evidence. We played his confession over the speakers while he covered his ears and pleaded for forgiveness. "Just make the girls stop." The security officers were initially confused by the mannequins and equipment, but when we explained how we'd caught him, they started laughing. One of them said, "You girls just saved us months of investigation. This guy's been a problem for years, but we never had solid proof." Charles was arrested on the spot for stalking, breaking and entering, an invasion of privacy. Turns out he'd been doing this at his previous job at another university too. The disciplinary hearing was swift, and he was banned from campus permanently. We never got in trouble for our little psychological experiment. In fact, the housing department thanked us and used our case as an example of why students should report suspicious behavior. Sometimes I wonder if we went too far, but then I remember all those girls who can now sleep safely in their beds because one predator learned that his victims aren't as helpless as he thought.